What helps you fall asleep at night? My wife playing classical music on piano. I never make it past the first piece. Now I know why I nod off at the symphony. Orgasms usually do it for me. I have several YouTube channels I cycle through to fall asleep to. Mostly crafters or chefs. Lately I've been falling asleep to Mythical Kitchen. I have 2 small kids, a full-time job, and do most of the chores at home. When my head touches the pillow, I close my eyes and the next thing I know, it's 7 a.m. and I drag myself out of bed. Wouldn't change it for anything in the world. I wish I knew. I do all the things. I exercise during the day. I play ambient music to fall asleep to. I don't look at screens before bed. I don't drink caffeine 8 hours before I try to sleep. I have all the lights out. I get comfortable. But sleep never comes. If it does, I wake up right at 3 hours. Wide awake. It's getting out of control. I can't turn my brain off. Been up 24 hours. Had a full day. Didn't sleep tonight. And now getting ready for another long day. Lying down and turning my mind off sounds ridiculous. Exhaustion. Rubbing one out. Orgasms typically satisfy my desires. Alcohol and weed, or just weed. I've tried everything else and it doesn't work. The joy of painting with Bob Ross. Working out. It's something I control, is easy to plan for. And aside from the dopamine serotonin physiological side effects, it means I did something good with my day. So a little bit less to worry about. When Potato Best 4667 makes calming ocean and whale noises. Shower. Chamomile tea. Winding down with a book, one that I read before because I don't want to stay up and if all else fails then some melatonin but as a last resort. Drugs. Sleeping pills. Mirtazapine 15 grams. Imagine myself jumping into a massive pile of soft pillows on repeat. Having missed a few hours of sleep the night before. Calmly watching our oddly satisfying before sleep. Or a movie. But main thing. You have to catch that right moment when you are sleepy and get to bed. And very important, don't start thinking. Just lay blankly. If you lost that moment of sleepiness, just wait until it hits you again in an hour or so. I'm so lucky that I can fall asleep quickly. As long as the lights are off, I just close my eyes and I'm out. Pot and masturbation. YouTube videos played 2 inches away from my sleep-deprived eyes. Lithium Prozac clonazepam. Never had a Twitter account in my life. King of the Hill, Bob's Burgers, or the Great North. Relax with Animal Facts podcast. Alcohol, but sometimes I think I drink too much so I smoke some weed instead, which also works. Sleep? It's been 48 hours. My hands are cramping up. Having heart palps hour steady at 1:35. Definitely dehydrated. Keep waiting on sheer exhaustion to take over. Haven't slept well since 1984 and with old age it's much worse. I'm so tired. Oh, add nausea to the mix. Not vomiting. But if I lie on my back I can see my upper stomach move. There's nothing there to come up. I'd rather vomit. Meaningless YouTube shorts. Fauna ASMR. I'm the strongest sapling. Little reveries about fucking a guy that I work with. Falling asleep watching something on TV that isn't so engaging that it will keep me awake. Episodes of Futurama work well since I know them well. Instead of laying in bed with my mind going from one thing to another that I need to worry about, I simply fade off while my mind is distracted. Melatonin and magnesium glycinate about a half hour before bed. White noise. Sleep calls with my boyfriend Udansk. Working out in the morning. I used to have trouble sleeping at night to the point I hated going to bed. It felt like a chore, honestly. Then I learned to tell myself that I'm just going to lay here with my eyes closed and rest. If I rest enough, it's the same thing as sleeping. Now I very rarely have trouble sleeping. Melatonin and audiobook. I need it to sleep. I have ADHD, so it's difficult. Horror movies. I fall right asleep. Sometimes I like to imagine scenarios where I'm a cute femboy 10 years younger with a sugar daddy who would pay me huge sums of money basically just to look pretty. Podcasts. A hot shower. Sexual scenarios with my BF. Simple nothing. Hint: I don't sleep at night. And after this post, neither will you. Music. I lay down and stare at the ceiling until I fall asleep. There's a few YouTube videos of how the local on the 8s from the Weather Channel used to look and sound like through the years. Being boring in 1990. I've nostalgia towards the simpler days of television. And am a lover of weather science. I've a playlist of those videos alongside of rainfall, snowfall, storms. TV or an audiobook. I use sleep timers to fall asleep. After a hectic schedule makes me feel good. I have a window fan with the window open. I use the ceiling fan. I have a box fan going. I play the same podcast every night and I have train tracks on Sound Machine going as well. LMAO. When I go to bed, I used to watch some YouTube Shorts videos on my phone and I stop watching them when I get over a certain level of sleepiness. Then usually I fall asleep within 15 minutes. Listening to Peter Thomas' voice. Wankers Cocoa and YouTube. Weed. Asthma. Magnesium glycinate, OTC and works. A fan. I read in bed until I'm falling asleep involuntary. Alcohol or masturbation. Generally not at the same time though. Weed. Green noise. I also cannot sleep without my fan. Hearing space science YouTube videos. Sometimes documentaries. Closing my eyes. Do you sleep? Bedtime blowjob will do the trick. Choof. Exercising in the morning. Turkey Tom. IDK way about his voice and I watch his videos regularly, but if I throw one on I can be out in 3 minutes. Oh, when I can't sleep I open up windows or turn on my conditioner to cool the room. After I feel it cold I lurk into my bed under a warm blanket. Maybe someone else will help this to fall asleep. Being physically exhausted. My right hand. Blasting my sound machine. 30 milligrams oxazepam. Podcasts and long YouTube videos. Currently on an Adam McIntyre kick, but I love to watch him while awake too. Normally tears. My blanket that's shaped like a shark. Orgasms or audiobooks. To crush my enemies, see them driven before me, and to hear the lamentations of their women. Being tired. I do normally have to take some sort of sleep aid, but even once those kick in and I'm drowsy and can barely keep my head up. I can't actually fall asleep until I feel both of my dogs in their normal sleeping spots. Lol. They have very specific areas they like to sleep near me. And until I feel their warmth, I'll just lay there all groggy. Melatonin gummies 3. I play a game called Redecor where I earn money for doing design challenges. My BF doesn't understand my obsession with it. I dream app this game non-stop, tears of joy. Sounds odd, but creepy pasta stories from YouTube work best for me.